What about the power? I mean, I talked about like the ability to wrestle guys and trying to get them down. The punching power at
He's
170.
not
How
like some guy who have like crazy power, like and he not so big in this division. Like for example, Bilal, he have like Junaid, he have like power, like Kamaru Usman, this guy has like good power, but I don't think like Jake have some more than me. I saw his defense. A lot of guys take him down. Like I think all his opponents in UFC take him down, but he feel good in the ground. When somebody take him down, he not panic, like try to do some mistake, and he know how to defense.
can't?
Yeah,
What is
it's not secret. He told me like take him down, try to take him down and make him tired there, and I think I can finish him in the ground. I can.
Islam Makhachev isn't holding back anymore. After weeks of silence, he's finally fired shots at JDM, and they're brutal. The lightweight champ made it clear he's not here for games, calling out Jack Della Maddalena in a way that left fans stunned. This isn't trash talk, it's a straight up warning.
Because I feel, I saw his skills in the ground. He good, but I have something more.
Islam mentioned how this camp pushed him harder than ever with bigger sparring partners, heavier weights, and longer hours. You can sense he's building himself into something even tougher than the lightweight version fans already fear, and he seems all ready for JDM.
This camp is really hard. I gain weight and become big, and the opponent, my sparring partners, I changed there. Some guys they're also very big. That's why it's very hard camp. We did like first camp we did like for the lifting. It's the weights which I use in the training. Everything is changing. It's become very hard, and now I feel good.
Another thing he mentioned was how he was gaining size for the fight, which wasn't easy. He had to eat more, train twice a day, and push past exhaustion. But this time, he's not just preparing to defend something, he's coming to take it. It shows that this time, it wasn't about proving himself to anyone. It felt more like he's planning to make a statement that the welterweight division isn't safe anymore.
what has been the biggest difference going with these bigger guys? Like, what have you found that you need to change about your approach facing these bigger opponents?
Yeah, like a lot of things we change, like many things. Just we sit with the coaches and we make the plan. And very difficult to gain the weight. I finally become a little bit big now because I try to, like, last couple of months it's very hard. I use like creatine, protein after every training. You try to eat more, but it's very hard when you're training twice a day. When you're training hard, it's very hard to gain weight.
What kind of weight did you want to put on? Like, what was the mindset in that?
Uh, I want to walk around 87 kg. It's I don't know how much pounds.
Mhm.
It's like I don't know, like 87 kg, and like fight week I want to be like 83, and it's gonna be very easy cut weight, honestly.
When asked about how he plans to fight bigger guys, Islam didn't sound worried for a second. He simply said he's big too now, even sparring with middleweights. It wasn't bragging, it was almost matter of fact, as if he's already adjusted and knows what he's walking into. You can sense the confidence, the kind that doesn't come from words, but from countless hard rounds in the gym.
That you have always had this ability to take guys down when you want to, when you need to get them tired, that it's going to be harder to just take down these big guys, and that would be the biggest difference in terms of the competition at 170. Is that fair to say, or is there something else that's a bigger challenge moving up?
Yeah, my opponent was also gonna be big, but I'm also big. Before my weight it's like 82, 83. Now I'm 87. The it's you're right, because some of the guy who I spar with now, it's not like 170 games. Some of them from the 150, 185. It's I feel more power, but I working last 2 3 months. I working on that because I know it's very difficult, and we did good jobs to become stronger, become bigger, you know.
Now, any important part before a big fight is studying the opponent, and that's exactly what Islam is doing. When he spoke about Jack's fighting style, there was a hint of calculation. He acknowledged Jack's sharp boxing and timing, but then, in a quiet, almost dismissive way, mentioned that the wrestling isn't at that level. He didn't say what he planned to do, and he didn't have to. The way he described seeing openings, noticing little flaws, made it clear that he's already visualizing how to break him down once they're in the cage.
As you got into studying Jack a little bit more, obviously you were aware of who he was. You had watched him fight before, but when you get into camp and you're really watching him, what stood out to you?
Honestly, yeah, I watch all his fight. He's good. Striking is good. His boxing is very good, you know. And his wrestling not so good, but he good in the ground. He know how to defend, how to escape, how to get up, you know. He have good skills in the ground also, but I saw his wrestling just not good, but he know how to defend, you know. And like he's striking really good. That's why he's the one of the best in the world, and he's the world champion right now.
He also talked about how every opponent Jack faced usually gets him to the ground. He said Jack doesn't panic down there, but the way Islam said it made you feel like that calm won't help him much this time. There's something about the way Islam describes ground fighting. You can tell he believes once you're there with him, it's only a matter of time.
What is he doing wrong?
I saw his defense, you know. A lot of guys take him down. Like I think all his opponents in UFC take him down, but he feel good in the ground. When somebody take him down, he not panic, like try to do some mistake, and he know how to defense.
He made it clear he's not impressed by Jack's punching strength. He said Jack hits hard, sure, but not in a way that worries him. He's faced heavier, stronger guys in training, where some were even from middleweight, and that's where he felt real power. Compared to that, Jack's shots don't sound like something that'll throw him off. You could tell he's sizing everything up, testing how much danger there actually is, and from the way he spoke, it didn't seem like much.
What about the power? I mean, I talked about like the ability to wrestle guys and trying to get them down. The punching power at
You know,
170,
he's not
how
like some guy who have like crazy power, like, you know, and he not so big in this division, you know. Like for example, Bilal, he have like Jinet, he have like power. Like Kamaru Usman, this guy has like good power, but I don't think like Jake have some more than me, you know.
When it came to finishing Jack, Islam said that he and his trainer Khabib have made a plan and hinted that if he gets him tired, he can end it anywhere, be it choking or end by submission, doesn't matter. There's a quiet finality in how he said it, like he already knows how it ends, just not how long it'll take.
what has been Habib's biggest message to you during this camp?
Yeah,
What is
it's not secret. He told me like take him down, try to take him down and make him tired there. And I think I can finish him in the ground, you know. I can choke him, do some like armbar some things because I feel, you know, I saw his skills in the ground. He good, but I have something more.
This super fight has all the boxing world and experts talking about it and giving out their opinions and predictions on what could happen. Demetrius Johnson kicked things off by talking about how rare it is to see a matchup like this. He seemed genuinely intrigued by the idea of Islam stepping up a division to face JDM, calling it a real test of skill and mindset. You could tell he respected both guys, Islam for taking the risk and JDM for not backing down. What caught his attention most was how evenly matched they looked in size and how JDM's recent performances proved he's not someone you can take lightly.
If there wasn't a main event that had skill for skill, technique for technique, somebody coming up from lightweight, Islam Makhachev getting the opportunity to go up to 170 to have that, you know, double champ status. The UFC doesn't allow that anymore, but the double champ status, taking on a JDM where I feel like JDM was a dark horse, right? Not very known to the public, great technique, great grappling, but the beating he put on Bilal Muhammad, being able to finish him and just out jab him. A lot of people said that fight was going to be boring. It turned out to be a banger. fight.
Johnson also mentioned something interesting about JDM's style. He talked about how Jack doesn't like being held down and always looks to get back up, even against strong grapplers. That's what makes this fight unpredictable. If Islam gets him down, can he really keep him there? Or will JDM force him to work for every position? Johnson seemed curious about that, leaving it open as if he wasn't fully sure which side would take over.
It's gonna be, it could be two things. It could be a very, very boring fight, or it could be a very, very exciting fight. Meaning by the way it could be boring is if Islam's able to take down JDM and get his back, hold him there, out grapple him, stifle him, he could potentially do that. But the one thing I love about JDM when he fights is he never accepts the position. When he was fighting Gilbert Burns, great grappler, takes him down. Right when he gets up, he throws that knee into the void. Gilbert Burns ducks down into it. He runs into it. JDM doesn't accept the position when he gets taken down. He's always looking to grapple, always looking to anti-wrestle. That's what makes it.
Then came MMA Guru. He's been watching JDM since the early days and believes this could be his biggest moment. He brought up how far JDM has come since his rough start and how his streak now puts him right at the top. To him, JDM has that quiet kind of danger that Islam hasn't faced before at this weight. You could sense that Guru wasn't just picking JDM for hype. He actually trusts his skills to hold up against the pressure.
JDM, this one's special to me. Okay, I've been watching JDM since the regional scene when he was taken out. Some of the if you haven't seen it, go and watch back Jack Della Maddalena's regional KOs. Some of the nastiest KOs you'll see. He was destroying people on the regional scene. Started 0-2 in his career, went 10-2. After that, 10-fight win streak. And then since has been on a crazy win streak. I think he's on like a 17, 18-fight win streak now in his career, all the way through to UFC as well. I've picked him in every fight, and I'm going to pick him to beat Makhachev as well. Little spoiler for my own prediction video.
Dan Hardy kept it real from the start. He's always liked JDM's style, especially his sharp boxing, and said he's been a fan of his hands for years. But even with all that praise, he leaned toward Islam this time. He felt like Islam picked the perfect moment to move up. When his body's ready, his power is grown, and staying at lightweight any longer would have just held him back.
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer. And I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Hardy compared it to when fighters move up and suddenly everything clicks. Like they finally fight where they're meant to. That's how he sees Islam now. He's stronger, healthier, and more dangerous than ever. He admitted it might start as an even striking battle, maybe even close on the feet, but he thinks Islam's variety in kicks and ground control will eventually take over.
You know, I've been having a similar kind of conversation in my head with Crawford coming up against Canelo as well, you know what I mean? Like, what's Crawford going to look like going up a weight? And I think his body's ready to do it, same as Islam. And I just think Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. I see him taking it. And I can see him probably a 50-50 striking exchange, Makhachev winning with a kicking advantage, but then he's grappling and his wrestling taking over, probably winning by sub in the champ.
Beneil Dariush sounded a bit torn when talking about this one. At first he seemed unsure, but then he leaned slightly toward JDM. He said it wasn't about stats or records, it was just a feeling. He thinks the size difference might play a big role, especially when it comes to cardio. Dariush mentioned how JDM can keep a solid pace even deep into fights, and that could end up being the difference if Islam has to adjust to carrying more weight at 170.
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but now this is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really, give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
Luke Rockhold didn't try to overanalyze it. He just called it how he saw it. He admitted right away that this one's tough to predict, saying both guys bring something special to the cage. You could tell he respects them equally, calling JDM one of the most exciting fighters to watch, but also recognizing the depth of Islam's wrestling background. He also brought up something not many others talked about, how Islam's body will handle the jump to welterweight. Having trained with him before, Rockhold mentioned how much bigger Islam looks now, almost like he's finally filled out into that frame, but he kept it open-ended, saying it all depends on how he carries that new weight once the fight starts.
Do you see him beating JDM to win that welterweight title?
That's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my 3 favorite fighters in the UFC right now. We go Islam, Topuria, and JDM. JDM's he's fun to watch. So, I mean, that's going to be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM, who's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but, you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown. You know, we'll see how he carries.
Everyone said their piece, but one thing's clear. This fight has everyone guessing. Some think Islam's technique and control will rule the cage, while others believe JDM's power and size could flip the script. It's the kind of matchup that keeps fans up the night before, running through every possible outcome. Who you got? Let us know in the comments below.